Yeah, we just want the button.
Button.
Yeah.
How many in your group? Where is that, right? Mallory is your guide. That puts me at 14, right? Perfect. I have you hang on. Great. Mallory, you're good to go? Madeline's up next. All right. You said how many? Four. This is Madeline right here in the green shirt. You're going to follow her. She'll take you through the castle and bring you back down. How many in your group, honey? 2. You're going to follow them as well. You guys have Madeline. Yep. Right there with the green shirt, Madeline.
You don't know what you got yourself into with this group. We're trouble.
Should I be worried?
Nah, we won't hurt you.
I'm gonna hold here just because we have a few people still trying to come up at the bottom. You guys can start to follow me up the hill. My name is Madeline or Maddie. I will be your guys' tour guide today. Now before we start our tour, there are a few rules. Number 1, there is no eating or drinking inside the castle outside of water. Number 2, there's no smoking inside the castle. If you need to smoke, you can smoke at the end of your tour on that self-dock right over there. Number 3, please don't sit on any of the furniture without asking me or another tour guide. We just don't want to break it. It's very old and very delicate. Now, Frederick Bourne was the 5th president of the Singer Sewing Machine Company, and he bought this island, Dark Island, in 1902 because he wanted to build a small hunting cabin. Clearly, he built a very small hunting cabin. He hired an architect named Ernest Flagg from New York City to design the cabin for him, and Ernest Flagg had just read the book Woodstock by Sir Walter Scott, and in that book there was a huge castle, a lot of secret passageways and mystery and intrigue, so he was kind of inspired by that castle to create the Singer Castle that you see today. Now, construction began in 1903 and finished in 1905, so it only took about 2 years for this entire castle to be complete. Please watch your step as we go up.
We were thinking no tan lines. Yeah. We didn't want no lines. You don't, but you might. Oh, I do. I don't.
We are going to be holding over here briefly. Please feel free to stand in the shade. Bourne Island, that was purchased at the same time as Dark Island. During Frederick Bourne's time period, he would use that to keep all his vegetables and vegetation. However, in Marjorie's time period, she would actually use it to smuggle alcohol. She lived through Prohibition, so she would keep all of her alcohol on that island, which is in Canadian waters, and she would ask a servant to come over and get it every time she's having a party or an event. Looking over here, you can see the courtyard. This was originally a tennis court. It was a full grass tennis court. However, in Dr. Martin's time period, he couldn't afford the upkeep on it anymore, and he eventually just turned it into the full grass courtyard that you see today. Right next to me is actually a squash court. Marjorie had the squash court built as a gift for her husband Alexander for his birthday. He was only on the island for 3 days out of the year, so he came for his 3 days and he saw that the squash court was built as a gift.
She was drinking all the time.
Coming up behind me is the North Boathouse. This is where the family would keep any of their very large vessels. This is also where all the male servants would sleep, and this is where all the utilities of the castle were kept. The castle actually had electricity from its conception, so anything needed to maintain that was kept inside the North Boathouse. Coming up at the end of the row are pictures of the inside of the North Boathouse. Over here you can see a picture of the original tennis court. And then over here are some of the utilities inside of the boathouse. You can control panel, a diesel generator, a gas generator, and a water pump. You guys can follow me this way. Looking over here, we can see the castle's pergola. This is typically where the women would sit outside of the sun and watch whatever sports matches were occurring, as it wasn't as common or seen as proper for women to actually participate in sports. Maybe. Yeah. We're coming up on Emma's Rose Garden. This is Emma's Rose Garden. Emma was Frederick Bourne's wife, and this is a historically accurate recreation of her rose garden. So we did not have the original rose garden, however we did have a picture of it, and we recreated it with that picture. We actually have a gardener that comes in every 2 weeks to make sure this is as accurate as possible. This is where we pulled any weddings that take place at the castle. So there would be a golden arch between those 2 flower beds in the back, and rows of chairs all the way back. The castle did not have refrigeration from its inception, so in the winter, male servants would actually be sent to catch chunks of ice out of the water and bring it over to the ice house to keep their food cool. However, when refrigeration was added, it was converted to a caretaker's cottage. But our current caretaker, Scott, actually lives inside the castle. And you can see those 4 screen windows above the 3 arched ones. Those are the windows to the kitchen. The kitchen has been converted into a kind of mini apartment for Scott to live in. That's why we will not be seeing the kitchen on our tour today. He doesn't take kindly to people coming into his house unannounced. So that house is now a bridal cottage for a bride and any bridesmaids to get ready in for their wedding. Are there any questions, guys? We are going to be heading back up the stairs and onto the path. We do have a bit of weddings. So if you were to get married here, you could get married in the Rose Garden. Your reception could be held outside the courtyard.
I didn't say you. I'm thinking, I'm assuming it was right.
We are going to head into the library.
Might want to know. Yeah, actually I do. It'll be 10 years in November. That is
You guys are fine. Feel free to watch your step as you go up. Excuse me, sir. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, please.
No, I'm sorry. Here.
There you go.
This is the castle's library. It has 2,700 books in it, and they're all completely original. They were actually all found outside in storage in the North Boathouse. Now, the books are all separated based on ownership, so on the back wall are all of Dr. Martin's books. Over here are Martin and Alexander's books, and then Emma and Frederick's books are right over here. Now, this room was originally a billiards room. You can actually see a picture of the original billiards room right back there. However, Emma Bourne thought it was kind of immature to have a billiards room, so she said, hey, let's make a library, and her husband agreed. This is also where we'll see the first secret passageway of our tour, and it's right over here. Opening it is actually one of the most complex ways to open a secret passageway, and it actually requires a coin. There are 2 copper screws under here. If you put the coin on, it clicks, and you press, and the door opens. Feel free to look in, guys. That secret passageway leads directly to another secret passageway in the wine cellar, and then there's steps up inside the wine cellar to connect to all the other secret passageways. Now, servants would actually use these secret passageways to navigate throughout the castle without being seen, because it was seen as kind of improper for servants to be seen by guests at the time.
These do sell, we have a tour right now.
I believe this is Yacht Caretaker, so this is for Oh, sorry, my bad. There, please watch your step as you go down. was supposed to be a cabin, so we do have a display for the castle. We also have a lot of Singer sewing machines displayed throughout the castle. As you guys can see, people tend to donate their sewing machines to us. The oldest one we This is the castle's wine cellar. It is 726 terracotta slots, and they're all pointed down at a 10-degree angle to keep the cork on the bottles wet. However, all these bottles are currently empty, none of them are full. This is also where we'll see the connecting secret passageway to the one in the library. If you just push on the wall, it hinges like a door and opens. Feel free to look in. The reason that secret passageway is so easy to open is because servants would have their arms full with glass wine bottles, and they didn't want them to break anything, so you just push it open with their hand or their leg.
This is a secret passageway.
Isn't that cool? Tell me, isn't that cool? Those are armor. Those are armor
You
for
guys can see
tonight.
another secret passageway right there. Interesting ghost story associated with that grate and this Italian marble fireplace. It was said that when the artisan was here carving this fireplace, he saw a person's reflection in that grate on the mirror, and he got absolutely terrified. He demanded to be sent back to Italy immediately. However, Frederick Bourne kind of wanted his fireplace finished, so he took him through all the secret passageways in the castle and told him it was probably just a servant. However, there were no servants on the island at the time, so who knows what he really saw. When he came back, he demanded this bar be put over the mirror to hang curtains so that he would never have to look in the mirror again. Are there any questions, guys? You guys can follow me into the breakfast room.